So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. A carry by Taylor to start the drive. They'll get it across the 35. It'll be 2nd down.
Look, all any running back wants is a little bit of room, a little bit of space in order to maneuver. But he also understands how difficult it is for his offensive line up front. So if they give him any space, he realizes his job to make more out of it than what they give him. Picks up 3 on that carry.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
20.
They go to the ground again with Taylor. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Indianapolis moving the chains there on a gain of 12.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
1st and 10, Taylor now. And he's going to take this across the 50 into Browns territory. Tackle made there by Myles Garrett.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Running straight ahead, Taylor. Defense able to get there, swarm to the football. Zilch, 0 nada there for the offense, Charles.
Yeah, it really was an example of good team defense, wasn't it? Everyone handled their responsibilities, and they held them to no gain.
It looks like a nickel set now for the Browns on 3rd down.
Hey, Tuesday.
Now Ryan. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
To punt on 4th down, here's Rigoberto Sanchez. Now this is fielded in the end zone. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Watson and the Browns now with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Now it's Watson. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And that's caught inside the 35. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. A great effort there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Browns will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Extra point by York is up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This taken in at the goal line. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Coming off every player's friend, the open week from last weekend.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. Even if you're coming off of a loss as they did, the open week is exactly what you need after you kind of get over it a little bit, right? Rest up the mind, rest up the body, get yourself ready to go. And they have to be eager to play again, especially since they lost the last time out.
Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. And career interception.
And how about the scouting department? They've got to be very happy right now because in NFL parlance, he's a third-day selection. Anyone after the fourth round, that's big-time scouting right there. And what a great play he just made.
That puts him in excellent position, first and goal after a gain of 19.
How about the way they're moving the ball down the field? They had a big play a moment ago, followed it up with another nice one here, and before you know it, they're already looking at first and goal.
Back to throw, Watson. Touchdown, Browns! 2 first-quarter touchdown passes now for Deshaun Watson. And the Browns are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Extra point by York is up and good. And it's now 14-0. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. This fielded right at the goal line. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make second down, second and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
On 2nd and 10, Ryan got his man complete over the middle. That's Campbell. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you wonder, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
From the gun on 3rd down, Ryan. And that will be incomplete.
I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
As Sanchez on to punt here as he sends this one away. This is brought in at the 21. 35 yards on the return. Picked up some good blocks as well. And the Browns have a short field in front of them now as they take over 1st and 10. On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb. DeForest Buckner in on the tackle.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
And some room to work. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. That good for 19 on a 1st down.
A good run there on right tackle in old school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Kwity Paye getting in there and burying him behind the line.
But that's what they have to do more of defensively. Not just getting sacks, but they have to keep getting in his face. Not let him get his feet set and deliver. He's been carving them up previously.
Yeah, already has a couple of touchdown passes. About time they put a few grass stakes. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. A great play there. With his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Browns have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. Extra point by York is up and good. And it's now 21-0. So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. Fields it right around the goal line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
And able to get this one out just shy of the 25 at the 24.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter. And a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with 3rd down coming up. $21-0 our score after 1. They'll come to the line needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Third and 2, now Ryan. Well, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
And attempted a deep ball there, they didn't get it. But boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and the Browns will take over 1st and 10. The Browns drive about to get started. Right now, everything they touch turns to gold. This is their 4th possession. Touchdowns on their first 3 possessions. I mean, this defense, they can't seem to stop them. It's like they're on skates.
Great analogy, Brandon, because they are pushing them back and winning everything at the line of scrimmage. They've just been laying down tracks towards the opposite end zone. So to themselves, all they're saying is, if we don't make a mistake, there's no way they can stop us.
On 1st and 10, Watson. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that is incomplete.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far. But on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. And there is Amari Cooper, his first catch. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another 1st down at the Colts 42. Coming right, this is Chubb on the toss. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there forcing a loss on that play.
2nd down, here's Chubb again. And a very determined run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 27. Good effort.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
Watson on 1st down. Blitz coming, and down he goes. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on 1st down on the sack. Defensively on the previous play, they gave up a pretty good chunk of yardage, but right there, they got a good portion of it right back.
And if we just flip it around from the offensive perspective, took a nice step forward, and how about a couple of leaps backwards after that play? They've got to figure out a big call coming up here to try and gain that yardage back. Well, partner, guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make 3rd down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big 3rd down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
A long way to go here on 3rd down for the 8th play of the drive. Up the middle, it's Chubb. A beautiful fake. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. A good pickup there, 7 yards, but it brings up 4th down. Cade York on now for the field goal. From the left hash, this from 46. York able to send this one through, and the route is on. It's 24-0. So everything else has gone right in this first half. Kind of follows that it would for their kicker, too, as he adds 3 more onto the lead.
Yeah, and the way that this one's gone, definitely not looking like he's going to have to worry too much about pressure kicks late in the game. He can go out there free and easy, just work on his form, and he knocked that one through.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the 2nd quarter, but you're down.
Want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
This offense on 3rd down today, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Here's Ryan to throw. And that is incomplete.
Well, this first half has not gone according to plan so far, offensively or even defensively for that matter. They could use a big-time spark somewhere, but it's not going to come on this drive as they have to punt this one away.
Take it at the 37. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. On 1st down, Watson. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play.
Are you seeing what I'm seeing? That's 3 sacks now, and this team came into the game in the bottom 5 in the league in sacks.
Yeah, what's going on? It's not been their bread and butter. I don't know. Is a blind squirrel finding a nut, or is this something they can build on?
Well, they found some momentum. They found a crack in that offensive line, and they're putting it to good use.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40. The line to gain is the 33 on 3rd down. Watson now to throw. And this is caught inside the 5. Touchdown! Deshaun Watson, 4 touchdown passes now in the ball game. And the Browns are able to widen their lead here in this first half. York now for the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He'd love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down.
21.
Here's Ryan. Got an open man. That's Campbell. And they'll work this down inside the 30. For an offense that has not found the end zone yet, that's a big play.
There's the spark right there. The big play that they needed. Now they've got to go ahead and finish this drive and put this ball in the end zone.
Now Ryan on 1st down. And a big loss here as he's taken down. On the corner blitz that time, the sack goes to Denzel Ward. Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a 2nd and very long. That ball caught by Campbell. And they're going to have another 1st down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 17-yard line. Now a timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And this is incomplete. Very lucky to get that one back. That nearly picked. It's 2nd down now. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
Hey, express.
Ryan. Oh, that'll be incomplete. Oh, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
That's a big force incompletion there to bring up 3rd and long. And this defense can still salvage a little momentum by forcing them to kick a field goal. Because just a few plays ago, they looked like they were headed towards the end zone.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Now it's Ryan. And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
This defense has certainly played well so far in this game, and the coverage has been tight on just about every throw. Forced a few here so far in this game, and now it brings up 4th down.
Facing this big first half deficit, they keep the field goal unit on the sideline. They're going for it. They'll try and throw for it with Ryan. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Colts unable to convert here on 4th down. And this Browns defense stands tall. A chance to get some momentum here in the 2nd quarter, getting their first trip into the red zone, but Unable to get it across.
And if I'm the head coach, sure, you feel some disappointment, maybe a little bit of deflation there because you didn't get it in. But I'm going straight to rah-rah mode. All right, guys, we didn't get it this time. It's only the second quarter. We'll be back. Let's get it later on. I want to keep this team up. I want them to feel like they've let everyone down.
Positive.
Got to be positive in this situation. It's too early to think that you don't have a chance to win this game.
Not wanting to take a chance this time, they'll keep it on the ground. And he'll push forward here for a good little run as the clock continues to run. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Now Watson. Rolling to his left. Letting one fly deep for Cooper. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. On 4th down on is Corey Bojorquez to punt. Taken in at the 22. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Browns are going to get the second half kickoff, and they've got this lead as well as we are back and underway. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And it's hard to imagine that the first half could have gone any better for them. So what's the approach here in the second half?
Just continue to play smart football because they get the other team down and they feel good about the position they're in. The obvious thing people would say is just keep attacking, but I think you also have to be smart about it. Avoid turnovers. That's about the only thing that can derail you at this point. Attack, but make sure you take care of the ball.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. To throw is Watson. And incomplete on the deep ball.
A great job defensively taking away his receivers, and he was forced to put that one into Lake Erie, but that's what good quarterbacks do. They don't take unnecessary chances if they don't have to.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Again, Watson to keep it. And he'll be stopped well short. Only 2 yards there. 4th and 3.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one. I'm sure it was a tough halftime trying to figure out some strategy to get things going, trailing by a lot when they went into the locker room. He's just trying every avenue to spark his team here to begin the third quarter. Not a lot going on that play, though.
On third down, Ryan. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Fielded at the 20. It'll be a 48-yard punt. 5 there on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Watson and the Browns now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Now a play fake, and it's Watson. And this one incomplete. Threw it down at the feet of his receiver.
You can tell they wanted to get that ball downfield, but they had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. Here's Chubb on the read option. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
I know that pass was incomplete, but I'm awfully impressed with how he was able to maintain his vision, because normally when you break out to the left that way, it narrows everything down, almost becomes a half-field read. But he's able to still see the entire playing surface and try to connect all the way back to the right.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here and maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
He tries to keep the legs churning, but he's going to be stopped behind the line.
Well, that kind of hit will certainly fire up your team both on the field and on the sideline. Tackles for lost yardage, they're always welcome.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. And he lost the football. But I believe the Colts were able to fall on this when they were, and so possession will remain with Indy.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get them home. The next guy comes through.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Dropped for a loss of 7 on multiple defenders. Just not much a quarterback can do there, CD. The pressure was in his face almost instantaneously. Led to a very quick sack.
Yeah, that's one where you turn to your lineman and say, guys, can I get a little help here? And you have to ask politely, because remember, they're blocking for you the entire game. But as a quarterback, you've also got to have the clock running in your head when you need to get rid of the football. But this time, he had no chance. They were on him instantly.
The Browns drive about to get started. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
They go with Chubb on 2nd down. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 65 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far. Good push up front in that run in between the tackles.
Let's play the leverage game here. Offensive line just got lower than the defensive front, and they were able to get their pads on them and move them backwards and create space for their running back to roam. Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Now they'll run the option to the short side left. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up. And not a lot of success to be found there.
Oh, you got that right, partner, because if you're trying to make guys miss about 10 yards or so downfield, that's a pretty good play. But if you've got to do it in your own backfield, I consider that a problem. That doesn't work too well.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a 1st down. Well, those backups on the sideline, they got to be eagerly anticipating the 4th quarter upcoming. Look at the size of the lead, how they're moving the football. This defense really struggling and giving up plays like we just saw.
Yeah, Stars have certainly done all they've needed to in this one, haven't they? But my question is, will he be able to resist the urge to continue to run things up a bit and get his main guys a few bonus stats before he calls them off the field? When you look at the scoreboard, you'd think they'd be pretty comfortable right now with this lead, but these guys are absolutely not going to let up. They want to increase their lead, and they want to do it with a big play. Unable to connect in that attempt.
Gets around him. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. 3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. Off of play action, it's Watson. Touchdown, Browns. It's another touchdown pass for Deshaun Watson, his 5th of the afternoon. And the Browns look like they're about to put an end to their 2-game losing streak as they add on to their lead. Extra point by York is up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They were coming off the extra week of rest, but this team started sluggish, and it really didn't get any better from there, and trailing big here in this 4th quarter. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Now Ryan. Looking for Campbell downfield. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And the Browns are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. Well, they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road and help seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. Kwity Paye picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down,
They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace packs.
Under pressure, they got him again. Sacked by Yannick Ngakoue, the former Maryland Terp.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
Now on 3rd and forever, he'll look to throw. He's going to look deep down the field. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Partner, in the sportsmanship handbook, there's something to be said for calling the dogs off in a blowout. But these defenders, they also know this is the NFL, and it's their job to stop them, whether they're in the game or they're down by a handful of touchdowns.
Well, on that punt, we've got a man shaken up. Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. The Colts come to the line, ready to start their next drive. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this 4th quarter. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Nice satisfying run on 1st down for the offense, picking up 5, which means defensively, the thought process is entirely different. You don't want to panic, but at the same time, you're saying to each other, we got to tighten this down. We can't give up gains like that.
And he stopped immediately there. They'll say no gain on the play there. Now it'll be 3rd down. He's already fumbled once in this game, and I thought the ball started to jostle there a little bit, but they got to him quickly at the line of scrimmage.
It sure did. And remember, if you're not a very confident runner and you've already dropped it once, if there's traffic around you...
And yet again, Ryan is intercepted. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Browns defense has a touchdown. Well, this one was already ugly, and now it's just kind of becoming a feast on the defensive side of the football.
Yeah, partner, this is a unit that knows they've got this game in the bag with this huge lead, and it's going to drive their coaches crazy because they're telling them, play it straight, do all the right things. But these guys are going to be freewheeling now. All of them are going to take chances, and that one pays off with an INT and a return for 6.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Colts come to the line, ready to start their next drive. I hate to say it, but at this point, I don't really know that they're playing to win with this deficit in the 4th quarter. They're just trying to erase that 0 on the scoreboard, Charles, and get some type of momentum to carry into the film session tomorrow.
If you get any type of points on the board, it'll count as a moral victory, although no one will talk about that in the post-game press conference. That's not something you mention in the NFL. And this loss, it already stings and will for a while, but everyone that offense knows it'll sting a lot worse if they don't put some points up on the board.
39. Hey, stop! Got. 54, stop!
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Ryan. He'll take a shot downfield for Pittman. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by John Johnson. And he'll return this ball across midfield to the 47-yard line. Yet another mistake after the interception there. Gosh, you look up at the scoreboard, and they just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Here's Watson. Going right side here, and that's complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 27 yards there, a 1st down. They have been unstoppable this afternoon, Charles. They just went after them from the start, and pass plays like we just saw, they're continuing their dominance here despite the big lead in the fourth quarter.
And that they have in every way. And plays like that across all phases of the game, they've just been effortless for them in this one. And that's what's helped them build such a large lead and allowed them to smile as this game continues.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down. To the air yet again, Watson. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10.
He kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
3rd and 2, Watson. That's complete right around the 8. And he takes this down to about the 2 before going out of bounds. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way and worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. When coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back to the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. They're looking at second down now as they search for a consolation score. On second down, they'll run it here. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves them with a 3rd and 3. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
Hey, Sam!
Ryan now to throw on 3rd down. Finds his big tight end, Mo Alley-Cox. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards.
20! 51, Sam!
Throwing now, Ryan on 1st down. And my goodness, another interception. And he'll get it all the way down inside the 35-yard line. Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been ugly from the get-go. But their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the...
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Kwity Paye able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon. Gonna need something special here on 3rd and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal? Back to throw. Dancing to his left. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. For the winning team here, Charles, that's about as big and clean of a win as you could hope for in the National Football League. No turnovers. Meanwhile, you forced turnovers. You didn't allow any points, and you put up a bunch of points. What an effort.
And, Brandon, I just have to ask you, that's all the stuff that we saw happen today. Those are statistics, numbers, the whole deal. But my question is, how does one team come ready to play, and the other one, obviously, not ready at all?
Well, I mean, I obviously don't have an answer to that, but that was the story from the get-go. One side was awake and ready, and the other just seemed asleep. So for the Browns, the win moves them up to 5-2 now on the year. And they'll get another home date next week as the 49ers will come to town. Meanwhile, for the Colts, the losses are piling up as they drop to 1-5 now. And they'll be at home next week for a date with the Tennessee Titans.